Jayden Daniels got his first win as a Commander, and it is going to be a fun matchup as he travels to Cincinnati to take on Joe Burrow and Cincinnati Bengals, who had a devastating loss to the Kansas City Chiefs and are still winless on the season. We're going to break down this Commanders versus Bengals Monday Night Football matchup here, and also all the in-game matchups that you're going to need to watch to see who is going to have a better chance to win this game. At the very end of the video, we are going to provide our prediction. But before we get into that, Brian and I, we just want to give a huge shout out to all of our new subscribers from our week 2 prediction video series. Our goal was to get 100, and not only did we break that, we got more than 200 new subscribers to the channel. So thank you for helping us reach our goal. And Ryan and I, we were talking, let's not get greedy with our week 3 prediction videos. Let's actually just see if we can get another 100 new subscribers. So if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button, leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think is going to win this game. And so, Ryan, 2 great games here. They came down to last-second field goals. Commanders, they were on the winning side, and unfortunately, the Bengals, they were on the losing side to Harrison Butker and the Kansas City Chiefs. I will say, I think both teams played well, all things considered. Bengals made a couple of errors. That's to be expected. You are going up against the Chiefs. And the Commanders, they're obviously playing the Giants. So win is a win. Definitely 2 different caliber teams, but both teams are just in different stages, and I think it was good. I liked what I saw from both of those teams, and I'll break down my points here in a second. But what do you think of kind of both of the Commanders and Bengals performances so far up to this point of the season?
Yeah, I thought week 1 for Cincinnati was definitely lackluster. Didn't do a whole lot against New England, and that was a bit of a surprise. But came back out against Kansas City. And arguably a better defense and had a much better performance. Some stupid penalties in situations that ended up costing them the game. And I think looking back at it, they will definitely hopefully see the opportunities that they missed just due to some inopportune penalties. And they're a good team. They have a lot of talent. I am getting curious, though, about like Zach Taylor's job security. Part of my thinking also is like maybe this team just isn't that as well coached as we once thought. And I'm not talking about X's and O's, but I'm just talking about like discipline. Like you come out really slow every single year. You always seem to get some stupid penalties that end up costing you the game and things like that. And I'm not saying like he's going to get fired this year. Because that would be a pretty hot take. Because this is a perennial playoff contender. It just kind of feels like they always put themselves in situations to lose the close games against the top teams. And it's like they shoot themselves in the foot.
So I was actually going to take a different take on it because I was actually just happy to see the Bengals came out hot this early on in the season. Because I would say you're right. Typically they've come out slow. But week 2,
Zach Taylor was like 3-9 in September in his career,
something like that. Yeah, but I think it's honestly good for them to play the Chiefs this early on because they're like, okay, no, we want to beat Mahomes. Because also then too the overall playoff implications. As we both know, what both of these 2 teams have historically gone. I think they started off slow last year, and then Joe Burrow got hurt, so it's kind of a wash. But if you go look at it, they were a couple seconds away from beating the Chiefs going back to the Super Bowl. I think the past couple of years, and they went to the Super Bowl, the COVID year, right? No, the year after COVID.
The year after COVID. But that's another situation I'm talking about, the Joseph Osai push on the sideline.
Yeah, well, that's a totally separate video. I think that was just a very hard play and a very unfortunate timing. But but in general, though, I think Zach Taylor is doing totally fine. I loved what I saw from the Bengals today, especially compared. No offense, but I thought they were very lackluster against the Patriots. And they should have won.
Yeah,
that
part
game.
of that was the Patriots did a good job. Part of that was just they looked awful.
Yeah, but I know they were on the losing end of this game-winning field goal today. But I really liked just what I saw from the overall kind of grit of this team and just the overall performance. I think they're only going to keep getting better from here. And I thought it was a solid performance. Still things to clean up on, yes. And they still didn't have T. Higgins. But Andre Yoshavash, he had a great game today, started to fill into that number 2 receiver role. And I just thought it was good to see them play well and definitely put Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs kind of on the ropes there. It's going to be a confidence builder for them. The Commanders, I think, it's a confidence builder just because they're a rebuilding team and their rookie quarterback got their first win here. And one of the biggest things, too, that I think they should take a lot of pride on. I know they did score a touchdown. It was 7 field goals today. But I think if they get better in the red zone, I think they're going to score a lot of points because 27-yard field goal, they had a 45-yard field goal, but 26-yard field goal, 27-yard field goal, 29-yard field goal, 33-yard field goal, and 30-yard field goal. So they're right there from scoring a bunch of points against this Giants team. They just couldn't get the ball.
Defense.
Who actually has a solid defense, yeah, and score a lot of points. They just couldn't get the ball in the end zone. But hey, that's why you take those chip shots when you want your team to go for it from 4th and 3 on the 3rd-yard line, or 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. Take those points because you never know. But I think they were moving the ball well. I thought that they played decently. I thought they played well against this Giants team, who it is the Giants, yes, to be totally fair, but still, though, I think for a young defense is still improving than with Dan Quinn, who's a defensive mastermind, in my opinion. Mastermind might be strong. He's a really good defensive coach. I think kind of keep rebuilding and retooling this team. I think only going to keep getting better as well. And young might not be the right word because I know they have some old veterans on there like Bobby Wagner, for example, but still just a retooling defensive team. But I think let's kind of move on to this game here, though, the Monday night game between the Commanders and the Bengals in Cincinnati. Before we get into that, do you want to put a couple bucks down on this Commanders-Bengals game or any other games or any NFL games? Check out the link down below for BetUS. They have some great promotions going on right now for first-time players. Check the link down below. And I would definitely assume going into this game, I know the Bengals are the winless team, but they should be at least 3.5-point favorites, I think, going into this team, going into this game, because the biggest X factor to me still is going to be how does this Washington defense slow down the Cincinnati Bengals passing game? Just because that's still just a weakness for the Commanders still in my book. I know they slowed down Daniel Jones and the Giants today with just 178 passing yards. But I think a more competent passing offense and a better quarterback can still pick apart this Washington team. So one saving grace they do have is the Bengals offensive line still isn't spectacular, but you still have Joe Burrow, you still have Jamar Chase. I think this running game is going to be improving as well. You have other receivers emerging for this Bengals team. Mike Gesicki had a solid game as well. Let me pull up his stats here, but he's that more receiving tight end I think the Bengals were looking for. And so that's kind of one of my thoughts on this game here. What are some of the other X factors that you think each team needs to accomplish to win the game?
Yeah, I think containing Jayden Daniels in the pocket is going to be something that they're going to have to control. I will say they probably are fairly used to that. I like being in the same division as Lamar Jackson, not to compare the two like this early on in his career, but just when you look at like the type of athlete that Jayden Daniels is, Lamar is the closest comparison that you can really draw to it. And so I think for me, like they have that experience of trying to keep Lamar in the pocket. So doing that with Jayden Daniels and really just as a rookie, make him go through his progressions, make him get to his second and third read on the field, and just like not let him get the easy outs, the easy first downs, make him have to earn everything, because that can be really hard for young rookie quarterbacks to do very consistently in an NFL game to come out ahead. So for me, I think that's going to be essential for the Bengals. I think they'll have their way with this defense. I have no idea who the Commanders are going to put outside on Jamar Chase. Like even Andre Yoshivas is a better corner than is a better receiver than the Commanders corners. And so like that to me, I think is just going to be a really big mismatch. Mike Gesicki seems to be being utilized well in Cincinnati also. And so like just to quickly get into our predictions, I mean, I think we're both taking Cincinnati here, not to make this prediction for you, but they should just be the clearly better team. The biggest thing for me is Cincinnati needs to carry over the prep from this week into next week, because you kind of called it or said it in the beginning of the video. It's like they did have to play Kansas City this early on, and they wanted to show up for that game. So they did prepare and they did work hard in practice this week. Whereas like you could tell in week one, they were like, it's New England. They're one of the worst teams in the league. We should beat them. And they fell short. So that's going to be my other big X factor is, does Cincinnati show up prepared?
Mm-hmm. I think they will be. I mean, they don't want to go down 0-3. I also think, too, they know – I think that they're going to match up well against this Commanders team. And so at home on Monday Night Football, I agree with you there where it's going to be, can they contain Jayden Daniels? Yes. That's going to be a big factor, especially too with BJ Hill looking like he is going to monitor his status as he left the game with a hamstring injury. So losing a little bit of help there on the defensive interior. But still, I just think it's going to be hard for me, I think, to see the Bengals kind of come out not on top on this one here because they need this win if they want to kind of keep some sort of playoff momentum going here. So very early on in the season. So I'm going to go with the Bengals as well.
Yeah, so we're both taking the Bengals. Let's go ahead. We'll wrap this one up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be the Washington Commanders? Will it be the Cincinnati Bengals? And then that we'll see you guys next time.